Hello, everybody. Welcome to the channel this evening. If you've not been here before, my name is Elizabeth, and I am your friendly hillbilly host, and this is Hillbilly Crime. We've got Sweet Tater coming to meet us, and as soon as she jumps on, we will add her on here. And so we've already got a whole lot of people in here today. Let's see. We've got June. She says, I saw some of this yesterday. Ugh, I couldn't read it. Ooh, this is gonna be good. Okay, so y'all, this is something that has happened in the last few days. It's been very, very active on Facebook and social media here in this area because it has to do with a beauty school that has three different locations. They have a location in Whitesburg, they have a location in Pikeville, and they also have a location in Harlan. And it is called the Allure Beauty College. And it used to be called something else. I think it was the Jenny Lee Academy is what most people knew it as back in the day. And it had a really, really great reputation. Everybody that I've ever talked to that went to Jenny Lee had a really good experience there. And they just praised the teachers and everybody who worked there as the staff. It was bought several years ago. I'm not really sure when the girl took it over, bought it, but she has been the owner for several years now. And I'm just going to bring it on up. I can't even tell you guys. I cannot even tell you about this. We have to show you. All right. So let me figure out what I'm doing here real quick. I had a conversation there a little bit ago that for like the last hour and a half. That's why I don't have no makeup on or nothing, y'all, for the first time. But anyway. All right. So let me, it's just kind of got me all distracted and all out of sorts. We might talk about it tomorrow, but tonight we're talking about the beauty college. Okay. Allure Beauty, Beauty. I don't know if it's called the beauty college or the beauty school. Okay. Oh yeah. I know where it's at. Okay. Sorry, y'all. Got me all discombobulated here. Got me all upset. All right. So I'm going to pull up a post from Facebook. And that's not it. Okay. Wait a second here. There's Zelmy. Let me get her on here. Whoop, whoop. Gonna catch me alive tonight. Yes, you are. And you're not gonna want to miss this one, y'all. I'm telling you, you cannot make this stuff up. You just cannot make up the craziness that goes on in Letcher County. And this ain't even Letcher County. This is a tri-county story. This is Letcher County, Harlan County, and Pike County. They have included all three in this one. Okay. So I'm going to put up this one. Let's see. Everybody wants it to go viral. They're sharing it like crazy. And a lot of these students are the ones who are sharing this. Asking everybody to share. All right.
There, how do I look?
Let me get back over there to you. You look beautiful, Mommy. All right. Look at Tammy.
I got my computer all set up and everything. I was just pittering around here.
Well, good. I'm glad you're here. You already are aware of the case, or well, it's not a case. It's not a criminal case. But I wonder if this could be a civil suit.
Well, I'm sure that if it is, those girls have already been contacted.
All right. So this first one, I think this is the first one. Now, what this is a private chat message from Messenger. You know how we can put together a group chat on Facebook Messenger and you can add as many people as you want? Well, this was a group chat between the owner of the business, and then I'm assuming it's two staff people, but I'm not really sure about that. I'm not really sure if it's two staff or if it's one staff and one student. But regardless, it's three women that are included in this group chat. And let me see if I can make it bigger so y'all can see. Because some of these words, I can tell you, I don't know if I want to. No, that just ups. Oh, the other side. Okay. Oops. Let me pull up it this way. There we go. That kind of. Oh, but then I can't scroll up and down. Okay, I guess I'm just going to have to read it to y'all. All right. So this first one, there's like 16 pages of this.
No, Lord.
Yeah, it's between Kim, Reba, and Kaylee. Kaylee says, Reba is still trying to figure out how to delete the message. And then Kim puts three big laughy faces. Kim is the owner. Reba, I'm going to block you. And then Kim puts a little fish thing there. And then Kaylee says, Puthy. Now, I think she was trying to spell it with two S's in place of the TH. But regardless, it's Puthy. Fishy. Like how me and Reba supposed to deal with that. And then Kim says, it'll take you a bit supporting each other. And Reba says, she's FAT. She a tuna, not a fishy. And then Kim says both. And then Kaylee says, we'll be eating our life away. And Kim says, I'm just glad I ain't got a gag no more. And Reba says, yes, you will. Your office is right by the bathroom. And Kim says, this is so true. Nobody won't think it's funny. I'm sad. Reba says, rich girls boo-boo too. Kim says, Kelly Ray don't boo-boo. She's rich. Kaylee says, go get that cash, then come back home to mommy and your twin sister. Some of this stuff is just ridiculous, stupid stuff. But this is the teacher and the owner of this beauty college talking about her students, y'all. I'm a boo-boo on Big Miranda's station tomorrow. And then they show a picture of this girl that's pregnant, one of the students, but they've scratched it out. And she says, this was her when she was prego. And then Kim says, she bigger now than when she was prego. She post anything about us today on there? Kaylee says, no, I was just looking. Kim says, you're in charge of the Facebook stalking. And I think this might be a little out of place. I've got one where it's a video where we can go through it. Kim says, and leave a rat trap on Kaylee's chair. Stop, Kim. You're literally just like me, just an adult version. And Reba says, yes. Kim says, and a piece of cheese on Alyssa. This is missing something because she said something up there above that was real offensive too. Kaylee says, Reba, let's just go to Pikeville. Kim says, please do. And then they just talk craziness about. Kim says, I can't wait till Faith is asleep in classroom. I'm going to blow an air horn. Okay, have fun. And then she says she's going to PISS in her Jeep.
Oh,
Oh, yeah. Find out when she'll be there again, if she is, and I'm coming over. Now, this is the owner of the place, y'all. It gets worse. I'm going to be as skinny as you, Kelly Ray, when this is over. I want to get down here to the bad parts. I'd rather have girls that want to learn than girls who are CUNTS and they're filthy, stink like fish who are CUNTS. I mean, this is outrageous. This is just outrageous. And then the owner says, you're right. I'm thankful for this bunch. They are clean and don't smell like dirty pussy. You'd fit in great here. Gosh, I wish I could do it. Me too, sis. Just tell Daddy you want to come here. I mean, this is just ridiculous. This is ridiculous. She gets racist here in a minute, y'all. Okay. Kim says, and we get Reba come here too and let Candace teach them CUNTS. Kaylee says, I'd be feeding her to the wolves here. Oh my, please. Then Mommy and Sissy and baby girl be back together. One big happy
you be
family.
quiet. Quit that.
Let's see. I might have skipped one there. She says, they are getting on my damn nerves. And Tiara needs to hush too because she ain't got a dime in it neither. Then they start talking about Temu scissors. They asked rattling like they did this and that, knowing they was proud as hell of them Temu shears till I told them they got ripped off. I mean, they're just talking about their students like crazy. Let's see. Kim says, Faith said maybe we can write a paper and get 8 hours. I wouldn't give her 8 hours if my life depended on it. She's a cow. They're so stupid, I can't stand any of them, the owner says. And tell the whole school to get out of the office and do some pin curls. Let's see. Just be a bitch like me and you won't have to worry about it, she says. I want to get to the bad part. Kaylee says, I just want to stick Miranda in the creek rat. And then the owner says, and Tiara saying Braxton's boss said stay home. Well, Braxton's boss is Lenny Carr, so and I don't even know what that means. But it gets worse. They were talking about a day that we had snow. It was a day that we had snow and they were closing like schools and stuff. And they were trying to get, they were closing her school, I guess. I would wait till 7:30 and cancel and see how mad they get. It's a business. I don't see the Family Dollar closing. They're so stupid. And half they asses be safer at school than in the little trailers they live in. So they need to just shut up. Stop, Kim, laughy face. Well, it's the damn truth. Half their houses probably have tarps on the roof, she says. Just unbelievable. You're awful, Kaylee says. Reba says, Plywood Palace. Quit judging my house, guys. Not funny. And Miranda, the school ain't in Little Cow, and nobody gives a SHIT if the power is off. And Casey, go tell Mike to kick your butt again. Bah ha ha ha. Casey don't come anyway. They probably won't be no one there tomorrow because they're scared. they need to take their ASSES out in the rain and wash. And this is where it gets real bad. Like Lacey did when the pew pew person was on the loose. And then Kim says, yes, Faith needs to go back to bed with that NEGRO. Unbelievable. Unbelievable that in today's world, this is what mean girls are doing to their students. And Mommy, you're a teacher. Jump in here. What do you think about this?
Well, they're getting a paycheck, and I've seen people that, just wanted a paycheck. But, teaching is the most noble profession in the world, is that of teachers. And I'm not saying necessarily in schools, but in their case, people are in a bind because those girls get that financial aid, and they depend on it to live. So once they get there, they're sucked in for as long as they can get financial aid to go there, regardless of how the people act. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because they don't have much choices. That's probably why somebody's leaked this. It's probably someone that can't financially afford to cross them.
Well, they keep saying in there, delete it, make sure you delete it. And two of them said, okay, we've deleted ours. And then the third one, I don't know how to delete it. I don't know how to delete it. So I don't know.
Tell me how many of them people were talking.
3.
There were 3 of them. Okay. Well, they must be 3 of the officials, whatever they'd be called. And what they've done is terrible. I don't know if posting it on Facebook made it any better. You wonder about these things.
Look at Mommy. Vicky VA says, my mother-in-law's name was Zelma, and we called her Zelmy. It's a common name.
No, it's not common at all. There's only one Zelma Forbes in the whole of the United States.
Justice James says, that's your real mom? Yeah. That's my real mommy.
Yep. So it's a terrible situation that in order for people to get anything done, they have to resort to putting it on Facebook. That's all I got to say about that. It's a shame. Those people should have never been saying that about their students.
No. And so we've got, let me go through here.
But you wonder how much harm is done to those same students by posting this on Facebook and stuff, They're victimized either way.
Yep, I know.
You wouldn't want everybody knowing about it, what your teacher said about you. How humiliating. That's like somebody telling you bad stuff your mother or your father or your husband said about it. Well, do you know what your husband said about you?
Why, yeah, I know.
People think their teachers are supposed to be supportive. It's really a terrible, terrible thing that they've done. It's not illegal, I suppose, but it sure is terrible to hurt people like that.
Well, let me, I took a couple screenshots here. Let me pull this one up. I've got a couple here that we can look at. So the girl who was married to in a interracial or a biracial marriage, and she apparently, one of the students, the one that the owner said the N-word about.
Oh yeah, we can't say no N-words.
No. It just disgusts me. But so apparently she is married to an African American feller, and I looked at his profile, his Facebook profile, and he's a law enforcement officer. It looked like, or he was somewhere in law enforcement. He had a ton of academic achievements and stuff on his Facebook page. And the girl went and the owner gave an apology. She actually put out an apology on her Facebook page, and it wasn't accepted. I'm going to read it here and let you guys see what he says. Okay, so this is the apology that Kim Wells Howard, that's her name. She's the one who owns the beauty school. She put this apology out, and it says, I was trying to find the words to say, but I can't seem to find the right ones. First, I'd like to apologize for a statement I made out of ignorance on my part. I can't make excuses for saying what I said, and it was very unprofessional and hurtful to others. I'm truly not a racist person, nor is my family. I don't raise my kids to be racist. It was truly just something said out of pure stupidity on my part. I have apologized to my students at the schools, and I owe Faith Dalton, her husband Robert, and her family, and anyone else I have offended, an apology. I truly am sorry. I know this doesn't make it right, but it's something I feel needs to be done. Well, she later deleted her entire Facebook page, and the apology was deleted with it. But before she deleted it, this little girl's husband, who was the target of this, he responded. He shared it and he responded. And he says, apology not accepted. I don't even know you, lady. And Negro is what you refer to me as? What is this, 1800s? Let's get this straight. You're only sorry because you've been exposed. I personally don't care what you think or say about me, but my wife still has to attend your school and learn from you. How does she do that? And let me go down here and pull it back up.
That was very good, wasn't it?
Oh, he hit the nail right on the head. He sure did. And I'm so proud of them. I mean, I don't even know these people, but I'm so proud of them for standing up and, saying something, defending themselves. So many of us aren't able to defend ourselves without being attacked and retaliated further. And then they want to start making excuses and bring up all these reasons why they did what they did or why they didn't do what they should have done. Okay, so the end of it says, my wife still has to attend your school and learn from you. How does she do that? As an owner-operator of Allure Beauty College, you have conducted yourself and your business in a disgusting and disrespectful way. You're trash. That's what he said. And he got 276 likes. And this entire thing has been shared so many times. And everybody has just been so upset about all of it. Let me see what this other one is. People have to be held accountable and responsible for what they do when they screw up and they mess up. Okay, this is a post that one of the students made on Facebook. Let me see. It says, go over here to it. Hey, so even with all the hateful things said, we are still at school, so they can't kick us out. We don't want to lose our aid or have to pay them out of pocket.
Mm-hmm.
Do with that info what you wish. Just keep in mind, us here in the Allure shirts were the victims, not the people saying the stuff. The news station called and she cut the phones off because someone was talking to them. So that's very interesting. All right, Zelmy.
Well, you know, I think the place probably should be shut down, but I don't know how you go about doing that because of those kinds of attitudes towards students. And it wouldn't be just that one student or two students, it would be all of the students pretty much. They will have that same attitude towards them. So what they're doing is really kind of fraud.
Well,
because you can't work with people when you have that kind of attitude towards them. You can't give them the best.
Yeah. Sorry, Alan got home from his basketball game, made the doggy bark.
Yeah. So that's what I sort of think. It just really is. And I got to thinking about it too. I don't know if any of the rest of you have ever been in those situations where you go into, it could be a party or, it could be a bridge game or anything. And you go in there and all these people are standing around talking and whispering about you. You know, it's the same thing. People just are not kind often, just have some real rude-mannered people.
Yep.
And I get pretty testy about it. I've gone to places that, you know, where you pay your money and you go and people are going to teach you how to do stuff. And then they talk to you. They really insult you. I don't have any qualms about telling them what I think. Just stand right up and tell them right then and there. But you don't usually have those privileges. Yep. And it takes an awful lot of nerve to do it.
It does. You know, I'm starting to hear some criticisms of my show. But I can honestly say this show is no different. And me giving my opinions on this show is no different than all the opinions that are posted all over Facebook, that are posted all over TikTok. You know, you've got newspapers that put out posts, and then you've probably got 3,000 comments underneath the post. Everybody giving their opinion on the story. So I read a story on my show, and I share my opinions on it afterwards. So if anybody's embarrassed, I'm sorry. You know, I don't think that I'm not at fault. You know, I'm not the one that's causing your embarrassment. It's already been on Mountaintop News, WYMT, the Mountain Eagle.
Oh, it's common knowledge stuff.
It's common knowledge stuff.
But people don't want all, you know, I can understand they don't want their name drugged back up, you know.
Well, I can understand that too. Yeah.
You know, because we like to forget it and move on.
Yeah, but there's also a thing called being held accountable and being held responsible when we commit crimes, you know.
Well, a lot of stuff's not crimes. It's just...
Well, this isn't a crime that we know of so far. But the ones that we've been reading on in the newspaper and stuff like that, those are crimes. I mean, I'm sorry, but those are criminal acts.
And it doesn't matter that people criticize you. If everybody agreed with you,
right?
You know what I'm saying? You'd think, well, what is this?
That's right. That's right.
Why are these people agreeing with me?
It's called freedom of speech, and we are absolutely able to agree to disagree on things, and we don't have to hate each other or be disrespectful in the process. But unfortunately, it usually ends up that way. Tiffany says, when I was 13, the girls made fun of another girl because she had a bacterial infection, but that was middle school, not adults. Well, it's just not a good look. Um, even you, even if that was the case, talking about it on a group chat like this where apparently somebody seen it, because then they screenshotted it and spread it everywhere.
Well, I don't know how that happened.
I'm interested in that too.
They could have left their phone around and somebody picked it up, and had the opportunity to do that. But there had to be, was there only 3 people in that group?
Or you upset one of the 3, the other 2 upset one of the 3.
Now, I don't think that would happen that way. You know what I'm saying?
You don't?
Because it sort of is bad reflection on all 3 of them.
It is. Well, on one of them, the girl shows a photograph of her countertop to the other 2, and she has like a doily that's laying on her countertop, and it's got some like circles. Yeah, it's yellow and it's got some circles in it. And Kim, the owner of the business, freaks out and starts saying, "Oh my God, what is that? That's the ugliest thing I've ever seen. It's just making me mad looking at it. It's got all these crazy shapes and all this stuff." And she starts kind of putting down one of the 3 girls that's in there.
Sounds like she had her a good dose of something.
The sad thing is, I know this girl. I know Kim. I've known Kim since she was 14 years old. I was 17 years old when we used to be friends from Cumberland. And I have not seen her or spoken to her in many, many, many years. But I can honestly say this does not surprise me. So if that tells you anything, and that was 30 years ago that I knew her. So,
well, and there's probably a lot of people out here that could get caught up in something like that.
Listen,
people just love the gossip,
Most of us are supposed to become better people as we get older. Or at least that's my viewpoint. Okay, you might have a completely different viewpoint. But
what's better?
I've done all kinds of crazy and stupid and mean things when I was young, but I had to pay for them. Whenever I did something, I got caught, and I was made to be accountable. That I was held accountable for my actions. And it sucks. Yeah, it sucks. It sucks. I think the biggest part of this is admitting when we're wrong. That is really a difficult thing to do, to say, man, I shouldn't have done that. I was wrong.
You have to do what's called swallow your pride.
That's right. You got to swallow some pride.
That's a hard thing to do, is to eat gall.
Eat a little humble pie.
Absolutely.
It's not fun, but it makes us better people. I mean, what kind of person am I if I can never admit to being wrong, and I'm right all the time? Everything I do and say is right, and I stand behind it.
I'm right all the time.
Well, you are.
Oh, I am not.
You've been right. Everything my mother has ever, ever, ever told me has been right, even when I bucked against it at my heart.
Well, let's not talk about that. They don't want to hear that.
Well, I'm just saying she was right. She always turned out to be right. Allegedly Lisa. What horrible people. Shameful.
I think so
Well,
too.
it is very shameful. And, the whole community is outraged. I saw a post on there. Your neighbor, actually, did you see that? She posted on Facebook that her daughter was dropping out, was withdrawing from the school, and that she was, after lots of thought and, concern, they've discussed it and they decided to withdraw from that school, and she's going to go and finish at a different school somewhere else. But you got to think where we are geographically, to go to another school. There's not
I
very
think
many
I
schools.
think they're going to give her. It'll just be a transfer. She won't have to repeat anything. Is the way I read that.
Yeah,
You
I
read
think
the
so
same.
too. Yeah, I think they're just going to let her transfer. I hope none of these women have children. Well, the sad thing is, I don't know about all of them, but the students sure had children. The one she was talking about had 2 little kids on her Facebook profile. And that's just a shame. What woman would ever want to sit in their chairs now? No future business for them. 100%. And all teachers should be the highest paid profession. That's sure the truth, ain't it? They take care of all of our little spoiled brats all day long.
Well, if you paid it the highest, if they made a lot of money, teachers made a big salary, you'd have some people that go into it for the salary only, and it would become really competitive.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so so that situation, you might get some bad teachers. But then on the other end, if you get too far down the other way, then you're going to get bad teachers because they don't have enough education. So you always want to stay sort of like in the middle. Try to get a balance in the middle.
I had a boy tell me one time that the way that he got through life was pretending not to know how to do nothing. Anytime people figure out that I know how to work on a car, everybody's calling me, wanting me to work on their car for free. Anytime they figure out I know how to do some carpentry work, they're always calling me. He said, so I got through life pretending I didn't know how to do nothing. And I was like, man, that's so smart. That's smart.
Now we've got some going right there. They just made with joke about a domestic violence situation. Sounds like to me.
Yes, I think they were doing that too. And that was because they weren't just talking about one student. Apparently they weren't discriminating with who they were talking about.
They probably group texts about their clients too. These are very nasty women. I agree with that. They probably do it even about their friends circle. It's just, people that are willing to say those kinds of things about people, they're going to say them about all of them. It just, and I guess I don't know why they do that. Maybe that one woman's concerned about her own smell. Maybe she has an issue with a body smell. You know what I'm saying? And so she's focused on the fact that if you had a little bit of body odor, that'd be the worst thing in the world,
Well, it's just rude. Sounds like a bunch of babies trying to do adult things without success. I doubt she will be a business owner for too long. All of them need to be fired and possibly sued. Well, she owns all 3 of the businesses, so we'll just have to wait and see how this plays out. This just happened within what is today? All those messages were the 16th, so that was 2 days ago. The Facebook posts that were putting all these out. I don't know when the actual messages were made. Yes, don't forget to like and subscribe. That's horrible for the biracial children, too. I hope they're not old enough to understand any of this. Other kids' parents talk and kids repeat, sadly. That's exactly right. I saw a picture on Facebook one time, somebody shared it, and it had this woman, with her short hair, all fancy in her dress and high heels, and she had a tongue, and it had her tongue real long, and it went into the back of her kid's head, and it came out the kid's mouth.
Oh yeah, it was a cartoon-like thing.
Yeah, it was a cartoon drawing, and man, that really, really made an impression on me. I still think about that to this day.
Yeah, it sent a real vivid message of what goes on. I remember it now because I liked it too.
Yeah, and it shows that children repeat what they hear their parents say. I can remember telling a little story about Gregory or Alan at some point when they were little, and it's funny. Sometimes I'll hear them in there talking to their friends on their games, and I'll hear one telling the story, and they almost verbatim say what I had said to them 10 years ago or 5 years ago or whenever it was. And so our kids, if you think our kids are not listening, they are. They are. And they pick up our attitudes. That's one thing I can say about this show. Anything that I say, honey, I'm out here in front of everybody. I don't go around and talk behind people's backs and whisper innuendos, and saying nasty things behind people's back. I have opinions. I have strong opinions on corruption. I have strong opinions on, some immoral actions. And I don't see why we can't discuss these things in an adult safe space. And that's what this channel provides. It provides victims to be able to share their stories without fear of retaliation. And if anybody ever wants to come on and sit and give their side and tell their truth, they're more than welcome to come on and do that too. And we'll have a real good, healthy debate on how we feel about these things. That's how you don't hide things. That's how you don't cover it up. They've destroyed careers because I guarantee you the way they are talking, they've bullied students until they quit. You hit that right, Miss Margaret. Hello, honey. Thanks for coming tonight. She's apologizing because she will lose her job. Well, she's the owner. So she ain't going to lose it unless something happens with the business. She ain't got to worry about that. That is the most popular words in apologies these days. I love his 1800s comment. I did too. And I'm telling you, he really, which I mean, it doesn't matter. It wouldn't matter what his qualifications were. But he seemed like he was a whole lot more educated than those women were.
Yes, he was. He was much more so.
The owner is afraid she'll lose tons of business now. So sure she's apologizing. It's not real.
Well, it's really socially unacceptable to be racially prejudiced.
Yes.
People think you are uneducated and just an awful person if you're socially or if you're racially prejudiced and say stuff like that.
Her husband said it the best. He put a trash can right at the end of his comment. You're trash. Apologized only over the N-word, not the autism joke. Yeah, I don't think I even read that part. She said in there, in one of them, one of the women said it. Oh, did somebody so-and-so tell you she said she was autistic today? And so then they started talking about that. Let me let the dog in. Go ahead, Zelmy. I just wonder if there's a lawsuit ahead. If what they did could be grounds for a civil lawsuit.
Well, you'd have to have something. I mean, you'd have to have
Damage.
Yeah, I don't know if them being instructors of a school that you were at is enough of a reason. You know what I'm saying? I'm not sure. I mean, they're going to be hurt either way.
Ostrich 29 says they need to contact the beauty state board. Beauty college could definitely get in trouble and shut down. The thing is, this is an argument between these people. They need to settle their differences, not really any other's business, except that is others now know not to do business there.
Yep.
Women can be so cruel. I'd contact the funders of the program, the license board, and complain. It's
Those
not
are all great suggestions.
We got a lot of really smart viewers. Here, watch out. I'm telling you, my dogs are worse than toddlers. It's not illegal, but it should absolutely affect their business, and she can keep her apology. Before social media, if you spread gossip or talk trash, you would eventually have to back it up for real face to face, if you know what I mean. Yeah. I just thought that this was, it's so big everywhere else. I mean, everybody is just sharing this, trying to make it go viral. And see, that's the thing about where we live so far back in these mountains. It's just like all this stuff down in Whitesburg. All this stuff has been known. It's been common knowledge for a very long time. There have been victims. There have been outcries. There have been people that have begged for help, that have shouted from the rooftops what has happened to them, and nobody cared. Nobody came to their defense. Nobody stepped up and helped. And this is the same thing that I was saying the other night about the good police officers. Okay, so if you have so many good police officers and they're witnessing a bad officer do something bad, that he shouldn't be doing, how many times do they step up and help the victims of that bad cop? How many actually step in and try to stop the wrongdoing from taking place? Because they don't. They just, and yes, I agree. You, in law enforcement, if a good cop goes against a bad cop, well, that bad cop's also the one that's got to back them up whenever they go into trouble. But if they actually do what they should be doing, then that bad cop, if they're really a bad cop and they've been doing stuff that they don't need to be doing, then they shouldn't be back out in the field to not back up the good officer. Did I say that right? Did you understand what I was saying?
I know what you're saying, but I think that I think you need to be from a different direction. My opinion is okay. I think they don't need to be hired. There like I said before, you need some sort of psychological testing. Some people you have to know what you want your cops to do. And then you have to know what kind of personalities will try to do that.
Yeah.
So then you'll still have some of the same problems, but you won't have as many. So if everybody is a good cop, then you're okie dokie.
That's
so
right.
You try to hire people that'll make good cops.
Yeah. Jeez, my gosh. Get down right now.
And then you just have to look for personality traits that you want. But
being a bad little girl tonight, y'all. Sorry. Back to the story. It's a shame grown women are bullies, especially to students. If that was, think about how many mean girls are in high school. This kind of sounds like they never grew up, doesn't it?
Well, they certainly never gave their heart to a cause. I always felt like my students were people and that I should try to help them become what they wanted to become. I wouldn't, I tell you a story.
Do what, Mommy?
Can I tell a story?
Yes, please.
When I was teaching in high school in Ohio, it was a great place. We won't use no names. I had this boy that was brilliant. I mean, the fellow was a genius. For some reason, he decided he liked me. You know what I'm saying? He come to my house, and I don't remember what we did or talked about or why he came or anything. So everybody knew that I was friendly with him. I supported him. I thought he needed, my support. Mm-hmm. So he didn't always smell too good. And I had just gotten to where I have that ability that I can just kind of overlook it somehow. I don't know how I do it, but I do it. And so I just didn't pay no attention to it. I made myself do that, So these teachers all got together one day and they all decided and approached me if I'd talk to him about his body odor. And I said, no, won't you talk to him? And so I decided that it might be best if I was the one that did it since I liked him. Well, I got him out there one day and we was talking about that. Lord, he just pitched his book up on the ceiling and it just hurt him so bad. I would never, never, never do that again. And I never did. If somebody wants to say something, they need to go say it themselves, not send me. Because I'm not hurting anybody that way.
And I just don't know if I could overhear somebody else saying it myself. I've been in that situation too. I've got 2 boys and they're teenage boys, just now going into teenage boys. So they have lots of teenage boy friends and they're all ball players. And, I've recognized that myself, but I would never in a million years say anything about it. The way that I handled it was, do you need a toothbrush? I got a whole box of them in there that are brand new. I'll get you a toothbrush. Do you want to take a shower? Do you need some underwear or some socks? And I give them clean, even if they're brand new, you give them clean stuff. There are ways that you can address it without hurting their feelings and being so, I don't know, is it uncaring or is it just,
it's different when you're in a school situation.
Children and adults too.
I mean, like that boy, I didn't have any business doing that. It was not my place. But, I thought it was the right thing to do, but it was not.
Well, you learned, didn't you?
I did. I never did that again to anybody. And similar things to like that, where people think if you're friends with somebody, you should go talk to them about something that they would like to see change. I never did it again. It didn't matter what it was.
Did he get over it? Were you able to
yeah. Yeah, he got over it in 20 minutes. Wasn't like it was the first time he ever heard it,
Well, still, I got you. Absolutely, Julie Cook. There's a Better Business Bureau. I looked up the business on Facebook, and it doesn't look like they've done much with their Facebook page at all. I don't think anybody ever even goes to it, so I don't think that was even a big
But
deal.
I hate to see them go out of business. It just seems like there should be some better solution. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Heather Bates says, I think it's illegal what they're trying to pay teachers in Toledo, Ohio. $14, $15 an hour. Nonsense. I couldn't even pay my bills for that. Well, it is awful low, isn't it? Something TMAU is an uncommon condition that causes an unpleasant smell. It's also called. I hate even talking about it, y'all. I really do. This is like asking.
Yeah, it's a hostile environment.
It's like asking someone to continue to work in a hostile environment. Absolutely. And all these girls had to go back to school. Elizabeth, the difference between you and the folks who are posting underneath newspaper articles is that you are giving it sound in person and the others are hiding behind their keystrokes. That's a good point. Thank you. Today marks 2 years. My husband of 17 years passed away from brain cancer. My heart has been broken to pieces since then. I'm sorry, Miss Heather. Our prayers are with you, honey. My mom, 3 aunts, and my grandma from Kentucky were all teachers, and my grandpa was before law school. Much respect for good teachers. Well, look at Mommy's big fancy thing. You got all dressed up for us tonight, Zelmy.
I did. I was strutting my stuff.
She's strutting her stuff.
I had to get up for a minute. Oh, I know. I wanted to let the dog out.
I love that little thing she's got on. It's got like peacock feathers on it. It's really pretty. I would call the state board and ask to get my tuition money back and try to go to another school.
You want to go out?
It's sad.
Okay.
Hey, ladies, happy to see you here talking truth and providing important information for all to see. I don't know how important it is, but the more we know, the stronger we are together. It's what makes us better people. Well, the older I've gotten, I'm 48, and I'm proud of it. I never thought I'd live to be this age. I truly did at one point in time. And, I don't know, I guess I've been through so much and I've been humbled so many, many times. I'm a nobody. I'm an absolute nobody. Nobody cares what I think. My opinions have never been important to anybody before. And I think a lot of us feel that way. I think a lot of us have I think that more of us come from struggle than not. Some people have had money all their lives. They've had the right last name. They've had the right family influence. And so they've been babied and they've been pampered and they've been allowed to get away with red rum all their lives. And so when they get older, they're just an older, whatever the word is. But they don't get wiser. And wisdom is the mother of her children. Remember that. I think you give her too much credit. Give her a reason for being so catty. People like that need to cut others down because they feel less than. So they speak of others as less than. That's a good
Yeah,
point.
that's what I believe.
That's a really good point. When people are insecure about themselves, they talk about others. I'll tell you, I'll give you a little inside information about this. Um, so the owner of this is really dark olive complected herself, and she always has been. Her mother is a beautiful blonde beauty queen, and her daddy was dark haired. He looked kind of Italian, and he was a coal miner. And so when she was young, she kind of looked like a biracial child herself. And so I wondered if that contributed to the racist attitudes.
Well, of course it did. People treated her funny. You know what I'm saying?
Or at
It's a
least,
cultural thing.
you know. All right, we got 2 new members. Thank you. Leanne Goff. Or Go. I'm sorry if I mispronounce it. Just got here. Hi, everyone. I once had a lady tell me if you're being pulled down, talked about, they are just jealous or live in a cave. Well, that's a good thing. We were at the ball game last night, and I let somebody pull me out of character, and it just made me. I stayed up all night last night, just regret.
Makes you feel so humble, doesn't it, that you acted like that?
Yeah. Yeah, I wish I would have just kept walking and didn't engage. But sometimes we make bad decisions. I'm always saying I ain't perfect, y'all. I make bad decisions too. Let's see. See you later, says. Sounds like my bunch. Both parents, sister, 2 aunts, grandma, and even did a stint as TA and sub myself. Well, congratulations. Thank you for all of your family's selfless service to so many kids. Allure should have to return all of the tuitions and monies to the ones that chose to leave that hostile environment. She apologized for a statement, not for everything. Well, I do have to give it to her to come out and at least try to give an apology. But I think like what you guys say is probably what happened. She was sorry because she got caught. Because I doubt that that's the first time that they've talked like that. It's probably been an ongoing thing. And, mean girls don't change, they just alter out their members, you know. I wonder if something could be done because the school's accepting public funds and there's usually strict guidelines around that. That's true. That's true. Slander. Cindy from sunny South Florida. I'm not exactly sure what remember, I'm no lawyer. I don't know what the actual definition of slander and libel and stuff like that is. But damages would be hard to prove. Yeah. Guess they never heard of try that in a small town. That small town exposed them. I think everybody's being exposed for all of the wrongdoing and misconduct that's been going on. That has been the norm here, and not just here. It's the norm just about everywhere these days. It's not just here. They just got away with it here because there wasn't nobody over them who cared. And they weren't going to believe a member of the public against a judge, a jailer, a lawyer, a prosecutor, Commonwealth attorney, county attorney. I mean, who would have believed that there was this much bad crap going on? I mean, most of us knew it. Most of us have been victims of one of them over time, at least one of them. And you got to remember, there's a whole bunch of different entities. You've got the county, the city, the state. And remember, we've got a whole bunch of little cities. So you got a whole bunch of different departments, and they all back each other, no matter what. They just back each other. And it doesn't matter what they did. They're still willing to treat them like a brother. Harper Valley PTA. You remember that song? Tell me.
I do. It was a movie or something. Maybe it was a song.
I think it was a song, but it was in a movie. Yeah. Love that song, William Collins. I remember my parents playing that song. Yeah. The unfortunate thing is that if their school shuts down, it takes opportunities away from people to further their careers and education.
Absolutely. That's what I've been thinking.
All this been going on for years, and they still don't care, half of the people. No. Boo, you're right. They only care when they get caught. Also, it was unbelievably respectful and idiotic how she made fun of how people live with tarps over their trailers. Second beach gal. Thank you. Because there's a whole lot of poor people. I think there's a lot more poor than there are live in a big mansion like she does. She lives in a mansion compared to what most people live in around here. Oh, y'all. Anna Stanley. Also, if the instructors didn't like their students, maybe they didn't give them the same attention and training as other students. Did the students receive adequate training for the monies paid? Well, I have seen many posts today of people talking about how so many students were not prepared for their boards. So many students were not taught the basics and the fundamentals of beauty school. I saw a post yesterday of a lady that said she went to help her sister or sister-in-law. She had went to school in front of or under the old administration, the old owners, and she just praised them and how good they were to everybody and how nice and how prepared and how well they taught their students. And she said this family member then came to her asking her for help before her boards. And she said she was just completely shocked that she was not ready. Oh, there's Lucky. That's Mama's little man right there. That's the deer runner. Absolutely. Karma may just show her how it feels to have less than. Yeah. You know, I couldn't support my kids. A lot of people end up doing, and it's not just around here, it's everywhere. But how many women marry men for their income? They make a good living. They're going to be good providers. So they marry, and then they don't never have to do anything. They stay home as housewives, and they get taken care of. Which is, I wish I could do that. Listen, I wish I could do that, but I have never been that never been that lucky. We had to work. So, you know, like this channel, this channel has provided me the opportunity to be able to make a living and feed my children. You know, how many women get stuck in loveless marriages, abusive abusive relationships, or just really not good marriages because they can't support themselves. They don't have nowhere to go. If they did leave, where would they go? How would they make money?
Hey.
So I don't know. When you don't have anything, you don't have anything to lose. I didn't have nothing to lose starting this channel. I didn't have nothing to begin with. So if I just made $10, it was more than what I had before. Bad people are in all employment. Izzy Girl 361. That's exactly right. The nurse that worked ICU that has just been fired for breaking babies' bones. I saw that. Unbelievable. And it was African American babies that they found had their little legs were broken, femurs and what is it, tibia, fibia, stuff like that. I ain't no doctor either. But
Those are leg bones.
That's what I'm talking about. The bottom leg bone and their top leg bones were fractured.
The femur's the top one, I believe.
Well, then I was right. But their little legs were fractured. And then whenever they went in to look at the rest of the babies that were in there, they found other babies that had injuries that were unexplained. She was bending them like completely backwards, like their little legs were coming all the way up and touching the backs of their heads.
Do they have video of this?
I reckon they do. They must have. I'm not sure if they have video. You know, they have video in those nurseries. And
well, they should have for sure.
Yeah, they charged her. She's been charged with these crimes. It's unreal at some of the crimes that we see people committing, you know. And you just never know what people are capable of. Something came up on my memories today, and I think I screenshotted it. Let me check and see if I did. I might not have. Let me see. It's just unreal. You have memories. Okay, yep, it was in my memory. Here's one of them. I wrote this 7 years ago, I think. Let me see. Yep, 7 years ago on this day. Eating at a Mexican restaurant doesn't make us a Mexican, just as going to church doesn't make us a Christian. We are now legally able to self-identify as male, female, neither, or both. And maybe we could even call ourselves an animal if we wanted. But in doing that, we are no closer to being anything other than what God created us to be. We can pretend all we want, and we can change our appearance in ways to try and fool other people. But God still knows exactly what and who we are. Just as we can play church and put on a good show. We can act one way by day and another by night. And yet God still knows our hearts. We can't hide our true selves from the Lord. Sometimes the one we are trying to convince the most is ourselves. As we gossip and pack tales back and forth, As we get on our high horse and act as if we are what real Christians are, while we condemn others with our unfeeling, cold hearted judgment, unable to ever put ourselves in another's shoes, as we hold grudges against some, but forgive others when it benefits us in some way to do so, as we gang up on the weak with our clique and beat on the broken, unwilling and unable to even recognize their suffering or accept their heartache, in effect, minimizing their torment and wounds, denying responsibility for our actions and refusing to admit our wrongs, while pointing the finger with resentment and bitterness. Yet we put on the fancy clothes for church on Sunday, sing the songs with an occasional amen, loving only our own with the bless my for and no more attitude, confessing to be a Christian. We are to know them by their fruits. I wrote that 7 years ago, and it popped up in my memories. And I thought that was just so relevant to kind of a lot of the things that we see going around right now. Amanda, Miss Amanda, thank you, honey. I sure appreciate that. So let me fill you guys in on next week. We've got a busy, busy week. Okay, so we're going to do court TV. At the beginning of the week, I don't know what exact day it's going to be on yet. They're still waiting on, they are waiting on some body cam footage that hasn't come through yet. So I'll update you more on that one, exactly what day it's going to be. And then Wednesday, we're going back on Gavin Fish. So we'll be with Gavin on 7:30 or at 7:30 on Wednesday. And then we've got Surviving the Survivor again. I forget what day. I'll have to let y'all know tomorrow. I thought I remembered the days, but now that I go to tell them, I'm not sure if I remembered it right or not. But we've got 3 shows next week, so that's exciting. So if I got egg on my face, you won't tell me and let me walk around? Will be people laughing at me? It's a hard topic.
Well, I'd rather not know.
I can see that.
And if I don't know, it won't make no difference to me.
That's right.
What are you speaking about?
I had a hard time with some algebra and geometry. 2 teachers I remember went out of their way to help me. Things like that are never forgotten. Good teachers make a difference. I have never, in the 40 years that I've known my mommy to be a teacher, I have never, ever heard anybody say anything other than how wonderful of a teacher mommy is. In math, she's won every teaching award that there is to win.
Now, don't embarrass me. I got more out of it than they did. I enjoyed helping them, and when they came back and told me that I helped them get a job to support their family, made me feel so good.
I bet it did, Mommy. Dr. Vonda Kay, I'm so glad I found you. I love this. I'm a former elementary teacher and teach college now. I had a student like him, but never let it interfere. I used to pretend I was spraying for bugs.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
It reminds me. It reminds me, we had a counseling place here for the MAT patients, for the medically assisted treatment patients, and they had to go to their counselor once a month or something. And so this company came in and they set up this office and they hired these people to come in. And the lady who ran the desk at the front, she was so rude to people. People would come in there and they, might not have been the cleanest and might have smelled a little bit bad or something. And she would spray them down with Lysol. She told them to their face that they stunk, and she would literally spray their clothes and their bodies with Lysol. I think she got in big trouble for it. But everybody was just so offended. And I'm laughing because who would be so rude and uncaring? I mean, pretending that you're spraying for bugs is at least trying to camouflage what you're doing instead of walking up to them and telling them to turn around and lift their arms. Spray them down with Lysol. It's just, gosh, it makes me upset. Oh my, I had an administrator that told me as a consultant to tell the manager of the department that she needed to bath daily and wear plain clothes when working in the kitchen. I did it in private. Well, good, Miss Christie. So see, there's a lot of people who've had this experience. There's a lot of people that have been in lots of these experiences that we talk about. There are situations that we talk about.
I don't have anything to give you, pretty boy.
That's one reason why everybody likes this show so much, because they can relate. Everybody is talking about things that are relatable. I would have loved to have Sweet Tater as my teacher. Well, I tell you, she was my mommy. And I ended up having some other guy for my college math. It was geometry or something, algebra, something. And I went to class and I couldn't understand nothing that he would. And he'd stand up there the entire hour we were there. And I just could not comprehend what he was telling us. I remember going home that day and showing it to Mom, and she sat down and went over it one time, and I got it. It's the way that they teach you. It's their process and how they explain things. Sometimes I say things and I'm like, did I say that right? Did I say it well? Did you understand what I was trying to say? Because sometimes I just don't explain something very good. It's the same way with a teacher. If you're not explaining to where people can comprehend it, they might not learn. Christy says she thanked her. Let's see. Those teachers were Miss Fay Collier and the late Mr. Emil Cook. Respect. I've heard of both of them. Good, good, good. No excuse for not staying clean unless you're incapable. Oh, let's see. Inside the purple purse. I love that. Found family and moved to a small town in western North Carolina and went through a quite a bit of horror. Quit. I was addicted to Justified because I never thought this stuff really existed or really happened. But that, yeah, I can see that. I can understand that. Well, welcome to Letcher County, honey, where it's the real deal. Sweet Tater strutting her stuff. Love the shawl.
Well,
allegedly, Lisa says it's called being ugly, and God don't like ugly. That's right. Yeah. Y'all stay warm. It's supposed to get 5 degrees here in the heart of Texas. We're supposed to get a real bad storm too.
Yeah, we're getting rain. I don't know if it started yet or not. I looked.
J.G. Smith says, what did you teach and how many years?
Well, let me see now. I usually taught math of some sort, and I taught from 68. I don't know how many years I taught.
Over 40.
20. Yeah, I'd say. I taught from when I was 22, I started, and then I was about maybe 75, maybe, when I quit.
Well, you still teach.
Well, yeah, I do, but I just teach online.
She
But I
teaches.
still interact with students a lot.
How old are you, Mommy?
I'm 78. I'll be 79 this year. Get out of the way.
She'll be 79, and she started teaching at 28. Is that what you said?
22.
22. 22. So how many years is that?
Well, I took a couple off.
Well, that's okay. 79 minus 22. 57 years, y'all. And she's taught algebra, calculus, Calc 2.
Don't be telling my story.
She's smart. She's very smart, and she's taught just about everybody that's ever went to Southeast that had math, unless they had a different teacher. But most of them at least had her once. Your cat.
She's sitting on the keyboard.
That's all right. She keeps putting her butt up for her, Mommy.
Well, she's putting her head on me up here.
Everybody gets a big show. Okay, she's gone. Nope, she's back. That's Egg, y'all. Her name is Egg.
She's a big girl.
Crystal C says we're the same age, Elizabeth. I never thought I'd live to see 48 either. Yeah. Thank you. Dr. Vonda K became a YouTube member. Awesome. All right, y'all. We've been on here for an hour and a half, and J.G. Smith became a YouTube member.
Now.
Vicky VA, it doesn't matter what subject you are discussing on a platform, you are going to ruffle somebody's feathers. That's right. Not everybody's going to like you. I had to learn that a long time ago, and Mommy has too. Believe it or not, y'all, I know you guys just love Zelmy, but me and Mommy are a lot alike, and we've both experienced that population of people that don't really like us very much. Oh, there have been people that have been really, really mean to my Mommy, and there have been a lot of people that have been really, really mean to me. And I think it's just because you're an independent woman of some kind. Now, Mommy's a lot more liberal than I am. I'm not as liberal as she is in my way of thinking, but it don't matter. You still, if you're a strong-minded woman and you have any opinions or strong opinions, or if you just, I don't know, you just get on people's nerves. People just don't like you because they don't like your attitude, or they don't like your personality.
They might have good reason not to like you.
Maybe. Who knows?
I mean, there's some people I don't like.
That's right. There's people.
I don't make an issue out of it, but
that's right. And it's okay. You know, you can't be a people pleaser where you please everybody 100% of the time. I'm going to say something from time to time that ruffles some feathers, Mommy's going to say something that ruffles feathers. It's just life. It's just life. But I try to be very mindful of what I say. But I'm going to screw it up sometimes. I ain't perfect.
Well, but what those women said, I thought that was pretty bad. Now, I wouldn't say them kind of things.
No, me neither. Me neither. Girl, even if I'm not in the wrong and someone else may be, I still feel awful and want to apologize because I hate the thoughts of anyone being upset at me. I wear my heart on my sleeve. Yep, I know, Miss Amanda. I do too.
Look at there, my hair got dry while we were doing this.
Your hair looks great.
I took a shower.
I can't wait till mine gets that color. Willis, Nick, Cottle, Hall. Such huge fans here. We love you and Sweet Tater. Well, thank you. Yep. Let me criticize, girl. You're awesome. Love you and Mama. Yeah.
Well, I guess I better go do something else a while.
Yeah, me too. I'm ready for bed, y'all. I'm gonna have to start getting ready for work again soon. I've got a normal 9 to 5 job, you guys. So,
well, I gotta go.
All right, Mommy. We'll see you tomorrow.
All righty.
I love you.
Love you.
All right, you guys. You have a great rest of your night. Leanne, what a tart. Showing her best part. The real deal, y'all. The cat with a view. Hit that like button. Relevant, appropriate, and honest. Ah, that's hilarious. That's hilarious. Yep, speaking the truth, and it usually ruffles feathers. Yep. I didn't know there'd be twerking. Ah. Yes. Her hair is gorgeous. Thank you, Pingy. All right, you all. Well, you enjoy the rest of your night. I love you. Thank you for coming to our show. And we will see you guys tomorrow. You stay warm, stay bundled up, stay safe, stay blessed. And peace out, Girl Scout. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye.